Big up to LBTV, this is Skinnyman from the Mud family, an intergalactical poet from the streets, repping.
And rapping's what I'm made to do, and I'm representing for the mind of these frustrated youth.
The name Skinnyman comes from like by name by nature. You never really get the name you want, you get given the name you're given by your peoples there. Me being a skinny man, it's just an actual honest description of who I am. If I was a brown horse, I'd be MC Brown Horse. I'm MC Skinny Man, and a skinny man is what I am.
My first album showed them all that I'm the blatant truth. All we relied upon to give them all the naked proof.
I've been rapping now for, 30 years. Yeah, 30 years I've been spitting. I think I started rapping just by rhyming words and finding out what my rhyming vocabulary could do, and writing songs when I was about 5 or 6, and put together my first rap about the Rubik's Cube. Since then I just kind of thought that the hip-hop generation was something that was born in my generation, and I adopted it wholeheartedly, like hip-hop is me, you know, a generation that we're born into. And so I've always just been a hip-hopper, rapping, breakdancing, graffiti artist, you know. Most of the elements of the culture that you see that contribute towards it, I've embraced throughout the last 30 years.
What's going on? Ballad, Muslim or dread, running you're dead, police will put the guns to your head.
Hip-hop's changed in many ways. I mean, hip-hop's gone from being, in a nutshell, voice of the urban frustrated youth in the South Bronx of the American Lower East Side of New York, to being the biggest selling point and commodity for all businesses around the world. You know, it's the #1 selling music for the last 21 years in the Billboard charts around the world. So hip-hop's gone from being a underground movement to a worldwide industry. To be considered a pioneer in a field is like a great honor. Sometimes I feel like I ain't worthy, but then if we think about all of the background work that we've put into the game, from repping the open mic sessions, from making sure promoters had clubs to put on, from making sure we attended every open mic session, and basically every door that opened with an opportunity, we tried to kick down that door so that people could embrace hip-hop culture from a UK shores, you know, from a UK's perspective. So the fact that I'm like considered a pioneer in the UK hip-hop field is something that I've earned to be considered and regarded that title, but it's always still a privilege, an honour, and very flattered to know that I'm regarded with such a title.
Just look at the way they've got us living in Britain, as if we're all terrified of standing up against the system.
There's so much things to be said and done, and it's not to acquire any title or anything like that. I merely see myself as a vessel that's here in a position to be able to do work for the better of the youths in the community, and I feel that given that opportunity, I now look at it as my responsibility, because like, how could we have such a calling and fall asleep and ignore it, you know? I'm awake, I'm wide awake, I'm not unconscious. I'm conscious of what's going on around me. I'm conscious of my position. I'm conscious of the fact that I'm a role model. So I'm conscious of the fact that whether I want to be a negative one or a positive one is in my hands, you know? And through the desire of freedom of choice and will, I aspire for better. And I do see it as a duty to represent for the youths around that area. And it's not really to be considered a legend or to have any anointed title, because anointed titles isn't something that I aspire towards, but the upliftment and the education and the unification of the youths in my community is something that I definitely aspire to bringing about. I've been privileged to perform in loads of places. Haven't really been able to reach far, but done most of Europe, done everywhere across England. I think that what it was most shocking to me is when I was talking about issues that we were suffering firsthand in our community, I think I had the blinkers on a little bit, because then having gone on tour and been all over the place, I find out that communities all around the world are suffering from the same ills that our community suffers from, you know, like drugs, crime, violent crime, mental illness at a young age, and these are some of the issues that we're trying to tackle for the youth in our community, and I find that this is happening in communities all around the world. So it kind of opened my eyes to a bigger picture, that what I'm representing for is actually a bigger picture in itself.
I want to exercise freedom of speech with no rhythm, but I'm scared that my words won't get me sent to prison. It's leaving skepticism.
I battled a lot of MCs. The particular one in concern, I'd say that the odds were stacked against him, because people came there as fans of his music and paid to get in as fans, willing to see a great show, and it was like a lackluster performance, and everybody was upset. I think that to try and accommodate the angry crowd, 279, the promoter of the night, had like said, should we have an open mic session if that might make it better? I just got up on the mic and started cussing the artist in concern. I think he wanted to come back and have a stab, but by the time I went for my second round, the crowd was so with me that it was stacked against him anyway, you know.
And who was that artist?
That artist was some guy that got bullied and dissed his mum and lived in a trailer somewhere. You know, so then how could anybody that's been picked on all their life, geeked up in school, smacked around the place, raised in a trailer park, that's a bad man like me? You know what I mean? Seriously. It don't even matter who you're talking about. We know who you're talking about. I just said who we're talking about. We're talking about a little geek who dyes his hair, wears earrings in both ears. This is his mum. This is his baby mother. Comes from a trailer park. They're not ready for man. Really though, come on. I'm the ends. I'm the gully side. I'm Gaza Strip. I'm the one.